Global trade is no longer just about economics, it's about power, policies, politics, and ethics. And in recent years, one policy has sparked intense debate: the reciprocal tariff policy by United States. It's simple on the surface. If you charge the US a 30% tariff on goods, the US will charge you the same 30%. Sounds fair, right? But for countries like India, the real story goes far deeper. In this video, we will break down how policy affects India's economy, how it creates social and ethical tension, and what India can do about it. If you are a student, policymaker, or just someone curious about international economics, this one is for you. So, to begin with, what is the reciprocal tariff policy? It's a trade policy tool where one country mirrors the tariff rate imposed by another. If India taxes US motorcycles at 50%, the US will tax Indian motorcycles at the same rate. What's the intention behind it? To create fair and equal trade? But here's the issue: this approach doesn't account for the vast difference in development, cost structures, or even historical trade advantages. Developed nations like the US have more room to absorb such shocks. Countries like India, not so much. India US trade snapshot. India is one of the US top trading partners, and vice versa. Our exports include pharmaceuticals, IT, services, textiles, and gems. Tariffs on these make Indian goods pricier in the US. That means lower demand, declining revenue, and shrinking market shares. What is the economic impact? Indicators at risk include: first, let's break down the five major economic indicators that are directly affected. First, the GDP. India's export sector contributes significantly to GDP. A drop in export means lower production, lower income, and slower economic growth. With exports falling and imports staying steady, the trade deficit, that is, rising due to retaliatory tariffs, India's trade deficit may widen. That puts pressure on foreign exchange reserves. The third one is rupee depreciation. Lower export earnings means fewer dollars coming in. Combining that with nervous foreign investors, and the rupee could weaken. Rising inflation on imported goods. Foreign direct investment, the FDI. Investors hate unpredictability. If India appears exposed to trade wars, FDI inflows may decline, impacting tech, manufacturing, and job creation. The fifth one, stock market volatility. Sectors like IT and pharma, heavily reliant on US businesses, will be the first to feel the pinch. This creates uncertainty in the equity markets, something no economy wants. Talking about the social impacts, but tariff does not hit numbers, they hit people. The first impact is job losses. Millions of Indian workers is exported heavily industries like textiles, gems, and in IT. If US demand dries up, factories shut, jobs vanishes, and livelihoods are threatened, especially in the informal sectors. S- MSME vulnerability. Small businesses drive India's export. They doesn't have deep pockets or global networks to survive these shocks. For many, a tariff hike from the US is the final straw. Migration and urban pressure. When industries shut down, people move, often from small town to overburdened cities, increasing unemployment and housing stress. Ethical questions. Now let's talk ethics. Is it truly fair to impose the same tariffs on a developing country like India as on a developed country? Developing nations need policy space, room to grow, invest, and compete. And policies like reciprocal tariffs ignores its reality. They enforce global inequalities. And here's the paradox. While the US says it's promoting fairness, the impact is deeply unfair for the vulnerable MSMEs, farmers, and low income workers. What will be India's strategic response to this? India can't afford to sit still. Here's how we can respond. First, diversify trade partners. We must reduce our overdependency on the US. Asian, Africa, Latin America, and the EU offers huge potential. Second, strengthen Make in India. Boosting domestic manufacturing reduces our reliance on foreign buyers and strengthen our export base. Third, support MSMEs. Access to credit, tax release, and digital infrastructure can help so small businesses to absorb shocks. Revisit FTAs and negotiate. India need to engage in serious trade talks, lobbying for sector-specific reliefs and fairer deals. Fifth, use the WTO. Yes, the WTO still matters. India must actively challenge unfair trade actions to protect its right. So, in order to conclude, we can say reciprocal tariffs might sound like a fair play strategy, But the truth is, it's a loaded game. For India, the impact is real, far reaching, and deeply human. As students, future policymakers, and informed citizens, we must advocate for global policies that are economically sound and ethically grounded. Because at the end of the day, trade isn't just about tariffs, it's about people. Thank you.